Hello and welcome to the WB Mason Coaches Report with head volleyball coach Kristina Hernandez. Thanks for joining us today, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
Coach, coming off a 2-0 week, a win over Sacred Heart in your final non-conference match of the year, and then a huge 5-set win over Northeastern over the weekend. Can you talk about the week as a whole?
Sacred Heart, we did a really great job on the blocking end. I believe we had 21 blocks in that set, and everybody was doing a great job, our right sides, our left sides, our middles. So it was a really great defensive effort for us in that match, and I really believe that lifted us over Sacred Heart there towards the end.
In that Sacred Heart match, it was really interesting. Neither team hit well offensively, so you alluded to the blocking.
Right.
It was probably the strongest defensive match of the season on both sides combined, wasn't it?
It was a messy offensive match on both ends, and it went back both ways, and I feel it took us a little bit. We were struggling a little bit in the middles. We weren't really connecting very well, so it made things a little bit more challenging for us. But it was nice to be able to keep our composure on the blocking end and really focus on trying to score points on that, since we were doing well with that, and really just kind of work on scoring on that way and use our strength a little bit better when we weren't doing so well offensively.
Strong match by Caitlin Krause that day as well, and usual from Kelsey Wills.
Yes, both of them, have been really consistent, and it really helps us when we are struggling at moments to kind of keep our composure and focus on the things that we are doing really well to help us succeed.
Did you feel like after the week came to the conclusion that Sacred Heart match and the strong blocking helped you on Friday night as well?
It did. We really wanted to put some pressure on Northeastern, especially Kelly Bacon. She's phenomenal, and she gave us a tough time last time, and their middles gave us a tough time. So we really wanted to make sure that we're using that strength of ours, consistently, especially against the better teams. So a big focus for us was putting a lot of pressure on her on serve receive, and really making sure we were setting up a good block and not letting her tool us so much. She tooled us a lot the last time we played her. So that was a big factor for us, and a big focus for us, and it helped us to be able to do a good match on Tuesday and be able to block really well and help us go into that match on Friday. 5-set
win over Northeastern. Didn't come easily though. Obviously you were up 2-0. You hate to give that lead up in any volleyball match, especially in such a key one getting this late in the year. Can you talk about how happy you are as a coach and your team responded in that 5th set to pull out the win?
I was really happy. I got a little nervous there at the end. The first 2 sets I think everything was clicking, and we were strong on the blocking and defense and offensively and our serving, and we got a little lax in the next 2 sets, and Northeastern's a good team, and I expected them to come back, and we probably weren't as prepared. I think that probably, they started doing some different things, and we weren't necessarily adapting as well. So that 5th set, I was happy that we cleaned up some things on the defensive end on our side, and Nuria really stepped up in that 5th set for us and had some really great big moments for us in that set that really kept our momentum going. I think our blocking and our serving put some pressure on them to create more errors on their side. But I was really happy there at the end that we were being really aggressive and really focused on doing things, kind of the little things really well with the serving and the blocking and things like that, because I think it helped us in that 5th set in those last couple of points.
You mentioned her before, Kelly Bacon, one of the top players in the conference, probably with Kelsey Wills, 2 of the leading candidates for CA Player of the Year. You guys probably forced her to play maybe her worst match of the season, arguably, on Friday night. How big of a key was that to the win?
It was really key. And even when we slowed her down a little bit in the beginning, you keep thinking, she's going to come back, she's going to come back, she's going to do something. So you just kind of take it point for point, and we kept serving to her, whether she was passing well or swinging well or not. And I feel everybody does that to Kelsey as well. So it can slow you down sometimes, especially when you are having a tough match, and kind of slow down you kind of coming out of that. So I feel we did a great job of keeping her on the target on serve receive and really trying to keep her out of her game as much as possible.
So you moved to 5-3 in the conference, end of a short little homestand. Now you go on the road. How big are the next 2 weeks here to really put yourself in position for that conference tournament?
They're very important. We haven't seen James and William Mary play them yet, so we're in a position right now where we're a few games above, kind of that four half. So we want to make sure we're keeping ourselves in that position where, we'll see at the end of it, maybe we can compete for that second place spot and maybe we can sneak in there. But, I feel from where it's different last year, where we're actually in control of what we can do right now. And so we want to make sure we're taking that opportunity to kind of hold the cards in our hand and really, lay it out the way that we want to and not see who's going to be who and what's going to happen and really just kind of leave it up to fate at that point. And it's nice to be able to be in control, so we've got to work really hard to, keep the standings that we're at right now.
You kind of mentioned last year, and we talked about it last week, and I know Coach is kind of in mindset about this season. Do you see any similarities, though, between this year and last year? At the same point, the same type of winning streak is beginning. Obviously, it's good because last year led to, obviously, the culmination of what you all hope it would be, an NCAA tournament berth. Now you won 3 straight, 2 in conference, heading on to a big road trip. Do you as a coach see any similarities?
A little bit. I feel at this is kind of the point in most people's seasons where you either kind of go on that peak or you let the season drag kind of take you down and the tiredness and the midterms and all those other things. And our kids went through that last week, and the midterms were going on, and they could have very easily kind of gone in the other direction and really not competed well on Friday and let that be it. And, even after playing a little bit tough on Tuesday with the offense and not really connecting, they brought it on Friday, and then they really stepped up. So I hope that we continue to step up and really kind of just keep going from here. And, you never really know it's the same thing. It's different every year. It's kind of a different feel. I feel we're much stronger in maybe being able to control what we want to control. So, we just want to see them taking each game as big as it was last year. I think last year every game was really important because we had to kind of win out there at the end. So if they keep that same mindset as we finish up here, hopefully we can do some really good things here.
You just mentioned some positives from Friday. Hannah Clem, first career double-double in that match against Northeastern. We've repeatedly talked this year about your two-setter system. It's really clicking now, isn't it? Hannah's coming along very nicely.
Hannah is really connecting well with Nuria, and it's really starting to kind of open up our offense a lot more. And she's starting to get in the flow of the game a lot more and have some really big swings throughout the entire match. So that's really nice to see, and I think it's going to keep us getting better. They both are working on feeding everybody on the offense, so we don't wear Kelsey down when we do need her in big moments. They've both really focused on their defense because most teams have really been picking on both of them on the defensive end. And they stepped up on Friday, and they dug a lot of balls there at the end, especially Hannah. They were really picking on her in that fifth set, and, she made some great plays, and we were able to keep the ball on our side.
Last couple questions. You just mentioned Kelsey Wills, 5th CAA Player of the Week award this year. Is there anything else you can add to say more about her at this point? She's never happy with what she's doing, and even if she has a great game, she doesn't think that she plays well, and I think that just helps her get in the gym every day and work harder to get better and find new ways to do things. And she's responding really well to people putting pressure on her on the serve-receive end, and we've spent a significant amount of time just launching balls at her so she gets really comfortable, and she's much more comfortable in that end, but she's going to keep working to get better, and I think that that's what makes her a special player. Coach, keys to this weekend to getting 2 victories?
We just need to keep doing the same things that we did on Friday. We've got to play really great defense all over. Our blocking needs to, maintain its consistency, and offensively we need to have, everybody contributing at least a little bit here and there to spread our offense and make things a little bit easier for us.
Thanks for joining us, Coach, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us today on the W. Mason Coaches Report with head volleyball coach Kristina Hernandez.